Let us now take our oath and be worthy of the office on which we are about to enter. God bless everybody in this chamber, and God bless America.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fight for the Speaker of the House is over. Kevin McCarthy is the winner. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Let's analyze it.
Do you solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which you're about to enter? So help you God.
Yes, I do.
Congratulations and Godspeed.
There you go. Kevin McCarthy just sworn in as a Speaker of the House for the Republican Party. My name is Ty. Thank you for watching Right IQ. I appreciate it. And, I have some thoughts and some feelings about this scenario. Some of them good, some of them not so good. So I wanted to kind of go over that with you folks today. You guys if you've watched any of my videos in the past few days, you've kind of noticed that Kevin McCarthy, I'm not a huge fan of Kevin McCarthy, but there are some things that has been going on, I believe, behind the scenes that may make it really beneficial for us in the long term. So when life hands you lemons, you make lemonade. So let's see if we can make some lemonade today. But first of all, the biggest thing that I think is the most important is the swearing in of the new Congress. All the elected people that we fought so hard to get in there and take control of the House, they're in there and they're getting sworn in. Take a look at this.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office on which you are about to enter, so help you God. Congratulations. You are now members of the 118th Congress.
So I want to say congratulations to all the new members of the House and to the members that got reelected and are now helping us hold the majority in the House so that we can take power and give the power back to the American people. So I want to thank every single one of them. Now, Kevin McCarthy, he did squeak out a win. I believe Matt Gaetz was his final holdout that held out to the very last minute. He got everything that he asked for, and he couldn't find any more reason to protest that vote. So I believe that he was the actual final vote in that. So thank you, Matt Gaetz, for going ahead and making that happen. And look, we got a lot of concessions in this. If it wasn't for Matt Gaetz and the rest of the 20, it would have been business as usual in the House, and it would have been John Boehner 2.0, 3.0, and it would have been horrible. It would have been the same thing. It would have been deja vu all over again. Now, a few of the things that we ended up getting that helped us gain some more power in the House was we had the motion to vacate. If you listen to the other videos that I talked about the motion to vacate and how important it was that we have that, not only did we get the motion to vacate, but before, like I had also mentioned, Nancy Pelosi got rid of the motion to vacate because she didn't want her power to be challenged. Now, with that being said, not only did we get that back, but we got it with one member. So one member motion to vacate. Now, what that means is that any one person, let's just say Matt Gaetz believes that Kevin McCarthy is not doing his job and is not holding up to his side of the bargain, the promises that he made, Matt Gaetz could stand up and demand a vote on a new Speaker of the House, and that vote would happen immediately. So that is huge. That's going to that's going to jerk the chain or jerk the leash on Kevin McCarthy very, very quickly. And so I think that that's going to be the glue that we need to be able to hold the House together. Now, is there some sort of shenanigans that can be done to make them go around that? I'm not exactly sure. We're just going to have to keep an eye on that. And we do have a win here, so we need to, take advantage of that win and celebrate that win. They are adding Freedom Caucus members to all to at least some select committees, which is good. So now the Freedom Caucus, who has been fighting and fighting and fighting on Trump's behalf and the American people's behalf, we're going to be in on these committees, directing them on which direction we want them to go. And us having a voice in there is going to be huge, because it's been the rhinos and the Democrats that have been pushing the Freedom Caucus out of these caucuses to make sure that there's no voice and nothing can be televised that might show that they are, gaining some steam or making legitimate points. The other thing that they put is they're going to have a standalone vote for appropriation bills. Now, what that means is that you've seen all of the junk that they throw in these bills. It starts with this great name like, help the puppies. And then they put in all the special pork stuff in there to make it just so bloated. They throw it out there at the last minute, and then you're supposed to vote on it without even knowing what's in it. All that's going to be going away. So on the appropriations bills, they're going to be standalone bills. So they're going to be clean, which is what we want and what we need so that we can stop spending so damn much money. Okay, that's extremely important. And they're going to have a vote on term limits. Now, personally, I don't see how they're going to vote on kneecapping their own career. I think that that's going to have to be like a constitutional amendment or something like that put out by 3/4 of the states, and you know how that goes. But they're going to take a vote on it, and let's just see if they can get that through. If they can get that through, that's going to be huge, because I don't think that any of these members should be spending more than 8 years in their seats. You want to move on to a different seat? Fine. Go move to the Senate for another 2 or 3 years. I think it's a 4-year over there. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to look into that. But, move on to something else. You run for president. I don't care, but I don't want people sitting in the same seats for 50 years, just sucking up all the taxpayer money and sucking up all the oxygen out of our house. I just don't think that that's fair. It's not right, and it needs to be fixed. But I don't have a whole lot of faith that the Congress is going to vote for that to happen. But you know what? Maybe this is going to be the year for surprises. We will see. But with that being said, we now have the power in the House. That is going to be extremely good, and our side has a lot of power within that House. Now, I believe that Trump has a big impact on everything that we're seeing today, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in the video, more towards the end. But what I can tell you is that it didn't go down without a hitch. There was some, what do you want to call it? Some shenanigans being pulled by Mike Rogers. I don't know if you've seen this video. Take a look at this video. I thought this was very interesting to see. Take a look. Now, I think it's entirely amusing when elderly people forget that they're elderly and lose their shit. I thought that was very interesting. But with that being said, I'm assuming that he probably tapped into Nancy Pelosi's bar, drink a little bit too much, I'm assuming. But back to the situation at hand, Kevin McCarthy made a lot of promises during this trail to Speaker of the House. And he made a lot of promises that could change the way our system is ran. But there was also some low-hanging fruit that he should be able to get done fairly easily, like this one right here.
But when we come back, our very first bill will repeal the funding for 87,000 new IRs. You see, we believe government should be to help you, not go after you.
Now, like I said, that's low-hanging fruit. But that's the tip of the iceberg. And once we start getting in there and we start evaluating all of these things, we can start having sending out subpoenas and doing investigations. And I know we've heard all this before, but the thing is that there is so much glue in this deal that Kevin McCarthy doesn't have anywhere to turn. You see, he needs 218 votes in order to get anything passed through the House. And those 20, and there's actually about 40 to 50, I believe, in the Freedom Caucus. But if we can get the 40 to 50 on the Freedom Caucus, or at least half of them to hold out if Kevin McCarthy starts going sideways on us, then we can make sure to get him back in line. See, he needs the Freedom Caucus. He needs all of those people. He needs the 20 holdouts. He needs every single one of those votes in order to get anything done. It would have been different if we had a bigger red wave where there was a whole bunch more rhinos that were brought into the picture. He wouldn't have needed those votes, but he needs them now. And so you're going to find that he's going to capitulate, and he's going to do what it is that we want him to do rather than what his true nature tells him to do, being the rhino that he is. So I don't like Kevin McCarthy, but I believe that he is in check. And I think that he's in checkmate in more ways than one. But the House has the ability to be extremely powerful, and we haven't seen this in many, many years. And we don't know what this looks like because ever since the Tea Party, it's been a slow roll into rhinoism, right? Or liberalism or communism, whatever you think is the natural next step. But we have so much power there right now that we could technically see some things getting done that we never thought could get done before. Take a listen to Russ Vogt. He's talking on the Steve Bannon's War Room. Listen to what he's got to say.
Walk people through what we did get, and how do you actually make that work? Maybe even better than taking out the head of the swamp, sir.
Absolutely, and we've got to this point in the debate because of the War Room posse and those across the country who get their signal from it, that the terms that McCarthy was willing to agree to were such that almost no other speaker would agree to, in the amount of decentralization that would be given to conservatives and the rank and file and the member, who are the exact opposite of the cartel. They're the ones without the power. And so this was an opportunity to have a paradigm-shifting result in how the House is operated. And let me just go through the terms of what we're talking about. The big three in my mind, and the crown jewel, is that the Rules Committee, which is complicated, procedural, but in the House of Representatives, all major bills and amendments are approved and governed by the Rules Committee. If you don't have that, then you have all sorts of other rules in the House that allow substantial debate, and you have real power. But the Rules Committee will now be stocked with conservatives that will have the ability to stop a $1.7 trillion omnibus bill. That day is over. That day is now over as a result of the ability to have what I call an independent Rules Committee. Steve, we haven't seen it since Sam Rayburn. This is 60 years of the cartel building an apparatus of power in the speakership and the elected leader, and we have changed that as a result of the 20. That is an enormous thing. All of the terms of the policy agreements, and there are big ones, they basically took the parameters of the budget that I've been putting forward and said, this is what we're doing in the House of Representatives, and they're saying, we're going to go in that direction, and the debt limit is going to be fought on that budget. Now, how is that enforced? That is enforced by the Rules Committee. Will not put a budget resolution on the floor controlled by House conservatives that does not meet a balanced budget intent. How does all the terms about who's on this committee or, what this thing needs to be passed in the first quarter, all of that is governed by a motion to vacate. One member, Matt Gaetz, can go to the floor and say, we're going to have a vacate vote, a vote of no confidence in normal procedural speak. We're going to have a vote of no confidence, and the 20 will be able to ride herd to make sure that the deal is enforced. So people want to talk about how this thing is enforced. It's enforced built in with the Rules Committee, never had in 60 years, and the motion to vacate, which we now have back on the terms that Mark Meadows used it with John Boehner. And here's the final takeaway. And we also got Church Committee. This is what coalitional government looks like now. That's why this is so seminal, because we've been saying the HFC needs to be treated with respect procedurally, politically, and on the basis of policy, as if it is a partner in coalitional government. That is now the case, and it would not have happened without the courage of the 20 and the grassroots MAGA movement that this show represents.
I believe that he's absolutely correct. We have the potential of making some real changes and having real authority in the House. And there's going to be a lot of wrangling going on in the House. And having all of these security steps in place for the Speaker of the House means that we can get some things done, and he can't wiggle out of it because he's got no wiggle room. And the Church Commission is going to be huge. And guess who's going to be heading that committee? That's right, Jim Jordan. Jim Jordan is going to be heading that committee, the Church Committee. And we have the potential to expose a lot of these three-letter agencies as to what they've been doing. See, you and I already know what they've been doing. There's probably a lot more that we don't know, but we will never know it if it doesn't get exposed, and that's exactly what the Church Committee is going to be for. And I believe most of us trust Jim Jordan. I do. He's never given me any reason not to trust him. So, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But then again, I trusted Trey Gowdy also. So, we will take it one step at a time, day by day. But at this point, I have no reason not to trust Jim Jordan. And so having those mechanisms in place to keep the Speaker in check is going to be the catalyst for making sure that things happen and going in our direction. And you're going to see the Democrats are going to lose their damn minds. They're going to lose their minds, and I'm going to enjoy every single bit of it. Because 2023 is going to be the year to remember, I believe. A lot of us here, we sat around waiting for something to happen, and we put our faith in people, and we got disappointed. But I don't think that this scenario is going to be like the other scenarios. I think that this one is different, mainly because of the rules that they're putting into place, and that's going to be huge. Take a look at this.
There will be upcoming votes about those House conservatives on the Rules Committee are going to now have real de jure authority power in the House. And we're going to need to make sure that the terms of this agreement are being fought for on any given day, every given moment. And that can happen. We just showed what it looks like. And we showed what they can do. When you've got the grassroots saying the same thing as the House conservative members and the outside groups like ours, when you have that triangle of influence, you can roll any cartel.
You see, we're just going to have to keep our eye on this Congress. And we have the potential of getting some very big things happening within 2023, 2024. But there's also a potential for it to go the other way. And we're just going to have to hold our politicians accountable. See, we're used to not only fighting the Democrats, but fighting the Republicans too, the rhinos. We're used to doing that. But at no time during this battle did we ever have the power that we have today. Now, Washington is a very strange beast. It's very murky over there, and there's a whole lot of things that most of us don't understand. But if we hold our politicians accountable and stand behind the people who are standing for us, we can actually make sure that it goes in the direction that we want it to go into. And look, let's just face it. I always thought it was really weird when Marjorie Taylor Greene flipped and was like, okay, Kevin McCarthy's my guy. Kevin McCarthy's my guy. I made a video on it, made a couple shorts on it too. And I just thought it was really weird. But the more that I've sat back and tried to digest this, that I believe that there is more to this story. And you even have Kevin McCarthy out there. One of the first things that he did was thank President Trump for giving him the momentum that he needed to be able to become the Speaker of the House. Take a listen to this.
All the different members and hanging with me through all those different votes. But I do want to especially thank President Trump. I don't think anybody should doubt his influence. He was with me from the beginning. Somebody wrote the doubt of whether he was there, and he was all in. He would call me and he would call others. And he really was, I was just talking to him tonight, helping get those final votes. And what he's really saying, really for the party and the country, that we have to come together. We have to focus on the economy. We've got to focus, make our borders secure. We've got to do so much work to do, and he was a great influence to make that all happen. So thank you, President Trump.
Yeah, so I've been contemplating this whole scenario. I really found it very odd that Donald Trump was so, he needed to have Kevin McCarthy in there, and then all of a sudden you have Marjorie Taylor Greene just just coming out yelling, saying, "Hey, look, well, I'm not done winning, and we want to keep winning and winning some more," and talking like Donald Trump. And I was thinking to myself, is it possible? Is it possible that there's something going on behind the scenes that Trump needs Kevin McCarthy in there? Maybe because he's got something on Kevin McCarthy, in which case, he's been turned. That's always possible. That's always possible. But I can tell you that if the 20 that we're holding out wouldn't have held out as long as they did, we wouldn't have gotten as many concessions as we got. And so I think it was very important for those 20 to hold out like they did. It was very important. But it makes me think that did those 20, by holding out, did they make Donald Trump's plan even stronger by holding out? Now, I'm not going to sit up here and say, trust the plan, trust the plan. Donald Trump is playing 5D chess. That's fine. He can go ahead and play his 5D chess. I can't see his board. He's not telling me what his moves are. So I need to make moves on my side to make sure that things are moving the way I want them to do. Let him play his game. Let him play his 5D chess. I have to battle in my own way, which is why I started up this channel. And we all have to do our own battle, whether it's getting in contact with our representatives or whatever the case is, supporting people that we want in there. But the thing is that I'm going to let Donald Trump play his 5D chess. I cannot stop doing what I'm doing because I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. He's not telling me what his plans are. So why am I going to sit around and just wait for things to happen? Us as Americans, that's not who we are. We don't sit around and just wait for things to happen and hopefully cross our fingers that they go our direction. No, that's what's got us into this mess in the first place. So if Trump's got a plan for McCarthy and he's got McCarthy where he wants him, that's great and everything. But I am just not going to sit back and wait for this plan to unfold in front of my eyes while our country is descending into chaos. I'm just not going to do it. So let Trump do his thing. I support him fully, Donald Trump. And I will get behind McCarthy as much as it hurts me to do it, because he is now the Speaker of the House. Who else do we have? What other options do we have? They put people up and nobody gained any traction at all. So with that being said, let Donald Trump play his game, we'll play our game, and somewhere in the middle, there's going to be a win in this battle. But I'm watching Twitter, and these liberals are melting down on Twitter. They have no idea what's going on around them. They, you get into an argument with them, and they have to go check with MSN, mainstream media. They need to go check with CNN to find out what their talking points are so that they know how to argue. And it's really amusing to watch them flail when you start throwing facts at them. So if you're interested in a little bit of a spicy back and forth, go visit my Twitter channel. Take a look at it. It's at @RightIQ. But anyways, tell me what you think about this situation. Did we lose? Did we win? Do you think that there's hope for us, or are we doomed? Let me know down in the comments. And if you like the video, like and subscribe. I will see you on the next video. You take it easy. Thank you for watching this video. RightIQ is a new channel, so please like, subscribe, and share this video with all of your friends, because we have to support each other if we're going to win this battle. And if you agree or disagree, please leave your comments below so that we can have that discussion together. And I'll see you on the next video.